Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Microsoft has just released its latest security update, addressing 126 vulnerabilities that have been actively exploited in a series of ransomware attacks. This zero-day exploit, CVE 202529824, has been used by attackers to initiate these malicious campaigns, specifically targeting organizations in the IT and real estate sectors in the US, as well as the financial sector in Venezuela. The vulnerability is part of the Windows Common Log File System, CLFS, and allows an attacker running a standard user account to escalate privileges. This means that even if an attacker doesn't have administrative access to a device, they can still gain control over it by exploiting this zero-day flaw. The attackers are using a malware called PipeMagic to deploy this exploit. Microsoft has identified the group responsible for these attacks as Storm 2460, and they're considering this vulnerability one of their most significant weaknesses. In fact, this vulnerability has a CVSS score of 7.8, making it particularly dangerous. It's no wonder that security experts like Mike Walters from Action 1 are calling out this vulnerability as significant because it affects the core component of Windows. The implications of this zero-day exploit are clear. Attackers can use it to gain full control over a system, install malware, modify system files and registry settings, disable security features, access sensitive data, and maintain persistent access. This results in full system compromise and lateral movement across networks. But what's even more concerning is that this vulnerability isn't an isolated incident. According to Satnam Narang from Tenable, elevation of privilege flaws like this one have become increasingly popular among ransomware operators over the years. In fact, over half of all zero-days exploited so far in 2025 are related to elevation of privileges. And if that's not enough, Microsoft has patched more than 100 vulnerabilities in its latest security update alone, with many of them allowing attackers to achieve elevation of privileges. This is the fourth monthly security update this year, and the second set of triple-digit defects, which highlights just how serious the situation has become. In fact, this batch of patches includes some particularly concerning flaws, like a pair of high-severity software defects that could allow for remote code execution in remote desktop gateway service. And to make matters worse, none of these vulnerabilities have a publicly available proof of concept yet. So what can you do to protect yourself? First and foremost, make sure you're running the latest version of Windows. Microsoft's security update is available now, so be sure to install it ASAP. You should also keep your software up to date, including Office products, as some of those have been patched too. The bottom line is that this zero-day exploit highlights just how critical it is to stay vigilant when it comes to cybersecurity. Stay ahead of the threats by following Microsoft Sphere and staying informed about the latest security updates and alerts.